Now we can do a sentence completion question that only 40% of the people got right when they took it on an official GRE test. We're given a sentence and asked to fill in one blank. Far from viewing Jefferson as a skeptical but enlightened intellectual, historians of the 1960s portrayed him as a blank thinker, eager to fill the young with his political orthodoxy while censoring ideas he did not like. As we break down this sentence, we realize there's a lot of things we've heard about Jefferson. We heard that he's skeptical, that he's enlightened, that he's eager to fill the young with his political orthodoxy, and he was censoring ideas he did not like. And as we read the sentence, we realize there's some opposition built in. He's skeptical but enlightened, and he's eager while censoring. So there's some opposition at the beginning of the sentence and opposition at the end of the sentence. But if we look at the very beginning of the sentence, this tells us that the entire sentence is opposing each other, because far from viewing, that tells us that the beginning is going to be different than the end. If we just start reading the sentence, we come up with skeptical and we get answer E. And a cynical person is distrustful of human nature, so that could be a skeptical person, but it doesn't have anything to do with enlightened, so it's not going to capture any opposition. If we look for an enlightened person, we might find a judicious person, because a judicious person is having sound judgment. But that doesn't have anything to do with skeptical, and it doesn't capture any opposition. But this doesn't capture the opposition built into the entire sentence either. We have to realize, far from viewing Jefferson as a skeptical but enlightened intellectual, historians of the 1960s portrayed him as. Now we have to look at the top three answers that are left. If we look at answer C, an eclectic thinker selects the best of various doctrines, and so it's consistent with censoring ideas he did not like, but it doesn't capture any opposition about how he was eager to fill the young with his political orthodoxy, so it doesn't capture the opposition in the sentence. Answer A talks about an adventurous thinker, and that's someone who's disposed to seek adventure, but there's nothing about that in the sentence. And so we look up doctrinaire in the dictionary. And that's someone who prefers an abstract doctrine without regard for practical difficulties. So the definition has two parts built right into it. We prefer an abstract doctrine, which is like eager to fill the young with his political orthodoxy, and then without regard for practical difficulties, and that's like censoring ideas he did not like. So doctrinaire fills the opposition built into this description of Jefferson. Next, we fill in the blank with the word that we've chosen to make sure it makes sense. Far from viewing Jefferson as a skeptical but enlightened intellectual, historians of the 1960s portrayed him as a doctrinaire thinker, eager to fill the young with his political orthodoxy while censoring ideas he did not like. But one way of keeping track of the flow of a complex sentence like this is to actually flip the phrases around so that we read the sentence in a different order. What if we were going to start the sentence with historians? Then we get a straightforward sense of what was going on. Historians of the 1960s portrayed Jefferson as a doctrinaire thinker, eager to fill the young with his political orthodoxy while censoring ideas he did not like. Far from viewing him as a skeptical but enlightened intellectual. Testing for the public. Nonprofit since 1985. No one makes things easier.